Hey, welcome to the weekly wrap only on Ken's 5 Plus. I'm your host, Audrey Castoreno. Want to get to some of the biggest stories of the week so you can stay in the know. At number 5 in our countdown, Selena fans are going to really like this one. Netflix has acquired Isabel Castro's award-winning documentary feature, Selena y los Dinos. Now, this comes after a successful time at South by Southwest and the Sundance Film Festival. The documentary provides an in-depth look at the life and impact of the Tejano music icon, with never-before-seen footage from the Quintanilla family's personal archive. The film will be released globally on Netflix this winter. And at number 4, lottery luck strikes yet again for San Antonio. The Spurs entered the NBA draft lottery with only a 6% chance at the number 1 overall pick and nearly came through. The Spurs entered with a less than 30% chance at a top 4 pick, but they defied the odds and jumped to the number 2 pick. They'll also get the 14th pick, being a trade from the Atlanta Hawks. Spurs fans celebrated the big news.
The best day in San Antonio history. 2 years ago, still the best day in San Antonio history. I thought we were going to get a take 2, but number 2 pick, can't go wrong with it.
Like you heard, this comes 2 years after the Spurs secured the number 1 pick in the draft lottery that year, leading to them selecting Victor Wembanyama. Now it's up to the Spurs whether to keep their pick or trade it. And teaching at a military school has its own unique challenges. Not only are lots of the kids starting a new school, but they're also learning all about Texas. But one local teacher has found the perfect way to bring them up to speed quickly. Sarah Fergani takes us to Robert G. Cole High School, where they surprised Stacy Bishop with the Excel Award and a check from Credit Human.
Mrs. Bishop.
Congratulations.
Stacy Bishop isn't just an English teacher at Robert G. Cole High School.
She's great. She's a great teacher. Everyone needs a teacher like Miss Bishop.
She's someone who can turn an English lesson into this.
I divide them up into teams. 37 is our leader.
A March Madness tournament playbook.
You can get those 9 points.
Combining her years of basketball coaching with literature.
They have their own player scorebooks, but I'm in here to call fouls. That's going to be a big jump in there.
The questions that we get right count as points, so the team with the most points is technically winning the tournament.
This madness is helping them crush their biggest opponent, the STAR test.
The state tries to hand us things and say, teach this, but if you can put your own spin on things and be creative, you'll be happier, they'll be happier, and it's win-win.
I've always disliked busy work because I felt as though it was just like a waste of my time, to put it that way, but her coursework actually gets me to where I need to be.
So I want to hear those really good conversations.
Knowing that I'm actually putting work in to be able to do something successful.
Bishop challenges them to bring a written essay to life.
They turn it into a podcast.
So hopefully we did our part by
Podcasts and TED Talks. They choose their topics, do extensive research, conduct interviews, and create surveys.
We enter the NPR Student Podcast Challenge every year. I've had several honorable mentions, which is a huge success.
Very much in tune with our today's society and the world that they live in.
Yes. We have to set them up for success out there. We know what we're doing, we know how much work we put in, and then to hear them say that it's valuable, that means everything. That's why we do this job.
Sarah Fergani, Ken's 5.
A big congrats to her. The weekly wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
Ken's 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem, call KENS. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very, 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 very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family, because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5+.
Back to our countdown. At number 3, cross-examination of the prosecution's star witness, Cassie Ventura, now underway in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Combs' ex took the stand this week detailing her tumultuous 10-year relationship with Combs. Ventura testified they started dating when she was just 22, while she was signed to Combs' record label. She says the relationship became violent, and Combs would frequently, quote, bash me on my head, knock me over, drag me, kick me, stomp me. She says she also participated in drug-fueled sex sessions with other men to please Combs. Prosecutors are trying to convince the jury that Combs turned his hip-hop conglomerate into a racketeering enterprise.
The fact finder is to separate the emotion from the hardness of the description.
The defense admits that Combs had violent outbursts, but maintains the encounters were voluntary and the relationship consensual. Combs has pleaded not guilty to the 5-count indictment. If convicted on all charges, he could face at least 15 years in prison. At number 4, the Menendez brothers are a step closer to freedom after a California judge resentenced them to 50 years to life in prison. The move opens them up for the possibility of parole for the killing of their parents in 1989. The brothers were 18 and 21 years old at the time of the murders and have long claimed they acted in self-defense after their parents allegedly put them through years of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. The judge's decision now goes to the state's parole board, which will conduct separate hearings for Eric and Lyle Menendez on June 13th. Now, the board will then send final reports to Governor Gavin Newsom, who will ultimately determine whether the brothers receive clemency. Switching gears, May is Osteoporosis Awareness and Prevention Month. So our Jeremy Baker tells us how making sure your bone health is in tip-top shape before any problems is a must.
Osteoporosis is a condition where bones become weak and brittle, increasing the risk of a fracture, especially if you are a woman.
Primary osteoporosis is because of menopause. Estrogen helps hold on to bone, and so as women age and go through menopause, they start losing bone at a faster rate, and the first 10 years after menopause is when we're losing bone fastest.
Other top risk factors for osteoporosis are age, with bone mass decreasing over time, a family history of osteoporosis, certain medical conditions like arthritis or hyperthyroidism, low body weight, and those with poor diet and exercise.
Things that you can do early on in life is to eat well and stay active and get plenty of vitamin D and calcium in your diet.
The Bone Health and Osteoporosis Foundation says about 10 million Americans have osteoporosis. Roughly 54 million Americans, or half of all adults aged 50 and older, are at risk of breaking a bone, and 1 in 2 women and up to 1 in 4 men will break a bone in their lifetime due to osteoporosis.
We recommend women over 65 and men over 70 having a bone density, but if you have any kind of risk factors, you should do it earlier.
But no matter how old you are, Gantz says your health should always be top of mind, including those in younger generations.
I'm a little bit concerned about the younger generation. If they're not eating well, if they're not active, they are definitely going to be clients in the future that are going to be struggling with these issues.
The Bone Health and Osteoporosis Foundation is inviting everyone to build strong bones and Walk a Mile Day in May to encourage everyone to lace up their sneakers and promote bone health together. We have a link with more info with the story on KENS5.com. Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
Stick with us. A weekly wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
Talked to this police officers, and she told me to call Ken 5.
Every week, Ken's 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC is working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
it was shocking. Clearly, something went wrong.
Or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Just call Ken's. Weekdays at 6, only on Ken's 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call Ken 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots, I have Spurs roots, I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching Ken's 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good!
That is fantastic.
catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on Kent's 5 Plus.
Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. Right now we want to hit up shrinking tumors and octopus robots. Here's Meredith Haas with this week's Quick Hits.
Scientists have created a nanoparticle that can help reduce tumors and help with cancer treatments. It works in ultrasound-based cancer treatments, and basically this ultrasound physically destroys the tumor, and the drug helps eliminate any leftover cancer cells that might cause the tumor to return. And I don't know if you've seen this, but as tech is evolving, scientists have now created a robot that mimics and is like an octopus. Basically mimicking its nervous system, the octopus-like robot is able to grab things just as they would in the wild. And I always have to bring up the bees, right? Well, there's a new study out showing that creating habitat for humans really takes away habitat for bees. It found that in urban areas, bees populations declined by 65%. Thank you for watching this week's Quick Hits. I'm Meredith Haas.
Meredith does love the bees. All right, and at number 1 in our countdown, President Trump is making deals at every stop along his tour of the Middle East, and that includes making decisions that upends decades of American foreign policy. The president lifted long-standing economic sanctions against Syria ahead of his meeting with that country's new leader, an insurgent who came to power after overthrowing dictator Bashar al-Assad. President Trump deflected questions about possibly lifting sanctions on Iran, but says he would like to strike a deal for Iran to end its nuclear program. Trump's stop in Qatar included Boeing CEO, where they finalized a deal for the country to buy U.S.-made jets. Thanks for tuning in for this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap on Ken's 5 Plus. We'll see you next week, where we'll keep you up to date on all the top stories you need to know. Bye, guys.